Ride through Houston, Texas, flexing, rolling through the SWAT. Repping for the city, hear 'em in the parking lot. Houston written across the jersey, ain't gon' never stop. Just fans got me tuning in, waiting for the drop. Astros, Texas, Rockets, Dynamo, they coming with it. When they pull up, got the city sitting on a fitted. Straight up A-Leaf, hold it down, ain't gon' never quit it. Just fans got me tuning in, let my dogs get it. Southwest A-Leaf, Texas, throw down here and it's so infectious. We ride for the Houston Astros, Rockets, Dynamo, and them Texans.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining us this Memorial Day. Thank you for all of you who have served. This day is for you. Thank you again. We are joined here by my co-host, Rios. How's it going, Rios?
You know, the only thing I like more than a cold beer is insulting Cowboys fans. And, oh, boy, am I in for a treat tonight.
All right. And we got the one and only straight up from Venezuela. We got the one and only Papi. El Gorilla.
Shut the fuck up. How y'all doing? Everything good?
Good, man. All right. So we got this week we're talking Cowboys. So I figured we'd invite the two guys that I know that have been on our show that have talked Cowboys with us before. First one straight from the Let's Talk Sports Network, awesome network that we were once part of. We got the one and only Alan Perales on the show. How's it going, Alan?
I didn't know I was joining the.
Anyway, so that's all that matters. Had to do it. What's going on, brother?
I didn't know I was joining the community of big ass foreheads today.
Oh, wow. He came in swinging.
Fuck you, man.
Hey, it's always great to be on the show, man. Love what you guys do.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. And the next guy here, he's been on the show a couple of times. He's actually family, believe it or not. Yes, family. We match foreheads. You'll see. You'll be able to tell by the forehead that we are family. It's one thing that really runs rampant on us.
What about the other thing that runs?
He lives in the Dallas Fort Worth area over here. We got the one and only, the most despicable person I know, my cousin El Primo, Robert. How's it going, Robert? There you go.
I hate the fucking Texans, man. Fuck the Texans.
Anyway.
And he's Cowboys in the playoffs.
Oh man, well, dude, what's going on? What's going on with the internet up there in Dallas, bro?
Man, you know what? I don't know. We got a storm over here, man. We got a storm.
Is that really what's happening?
Yeah, that's what's going on, man. My Wi-Fi is going on and off.
Joke?
What's that?
Touchdown joke incoming.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
you know we're going with this.
Yeah. All right, man. Hey, honestly, glad to have you all on. Yeah, glad to have you guys on.
Dude, I didn't know Peyton Manning was your fucking cousin, bro. Look at that.
Say it again.
El Peyton.
El Peyton, bro.
There you go, dude. We can advertise for like ages right here, bro.
It's not that, man. It
looks like AI.
You know,
you know when AI creates those things and everybody's out of whack, they add extra forehead to us.
It's the camera, man. The camera adds extra inches to your forehead.
Yeah.
It's AI.
Just the forehead. Just the forehead.
8 extra fingers. And stuff.
When you say there's just a little more off the top, that's not what you're supposed to get.
All right, so let's start this up, man. All right. Cowboys. Like you got, some draft picks this season. I want to hear from both of you real quick. What did you guys think of your first pick? I'm gonna start off with Alan. What was your initial thoughts? Did the Cowboys address areas of concern? Are you happy with it? What was your initial reaction towards it?
I mean, I wasn't too excited about it at first, but seeing as how you lose, of course, a Hall of Famer in Zach Martin, you definitely needed to address the offensive line. From what I initially gathered, that they were originally going to take Tet there at 12 had he fallen to them, but Carolina scooped him up at 8. I really do think this is the next best pick you can get, though. Is you get the best interior guard in the draft in what you can get for him. And, coming out of the Alabama system, it's an SEC factory. So it's already a kind of a plus. So I'm excited to see. And this is reminiscent of what Jerry did a decade ago. Getting Tyron Smith, getting Zach Martin, getting Travis Frederick, building a young offensive line and building around it. So we'll have to wait and see, but I'm kind of intrigued to see where it goes.
All right, Robert, what do you think of Tyler Booker in the first round? What were your thoughts?
I thought it was a good pick. It's last 5-10 years, Cowboy ownership, man, they've been going guards, and they never missed on guards, man. They never, maybe Guyton, but he's going into his second year. But I thought that was
it could have been Kenyon Green. It can always get worse. It could have been Kenyon Green.
yeah. Like I said, I mean, they're off. They need to revamp their offense. It looks like they got a leader in Booker. I was happy with it. I know knowing Jerry and the front office, man, they're kind of hesitant in picking RBs in the first round since Zeke. So they've been, revamping that the offensive line, and it's a new offensive line, man. Statistically speaking, the new offensive line, man, they get better, as the season goes on. They showed it last year as well too, but we had Dak down for pretty much the rest of the season after like the 5th game or 6th game or something like that. I forgot. But I thought it was a good pick. I thought the whole the draft was good.
I will say I hate to pick because I wanted him in Houston. And it seems like the Texans are trying to trade up to get him because they were very highly. They spoke very highly of him in public and in meetings, stuff like that. So I think that was the guy they were trying to trade up for. And when the Cowboys took him, fuck them. It didn't happen. So they basically stay where they're at and they traded down.
Yeah, because it looked like a lot of teams were in the hunt for that offensive line, like revamp, right? Like, it seems like across the league, a lot of the teams already set on their quarterbacks or their plans for the quarterbacks, unless you're like the Browns or whatever. But
the Cowboys,
or the Cowboys. I mean, the Cowboys, sorta. But we'll get into that. So everybody was like kind of scrambling just to get kind of like going back to the trenches, right? Like D lines and offensive linemen. Were like what most people were looking at, and you saw a lot of guys like some wide receivers, some corners and stuff like that drop down. Yeah, I seen that earlier. I didn't want to pull it up. I don't know why you're laughing, Carlos. Like just because you
that's hilarious. Yeah.
But do you think that the Cowboys, like that's what was? Do you think that was the priority for the Cowboys? Like as a fan, like you guys. Do you think that those were the right picks, or were you hopeful for more movement?
I believe so because there are two weaknesses the Cowboys had. You couldn't run the ball and you couldn't stop the run. You addressed one of those needs right off the bat by getting Tyler Booker and getting that filling that right guard spot. So I feel like it definitely was a need that they needed to address, and they've also addressed pretty much every need that they had to address this offseason, which is something you rarely see Dallas do nowadays, because most of the time it's just one or two players here. We'll go get maybe a big wide receiver here or something like that. But to me, I feel like they actually address every need that they needed to address. Then it started with Tyler Booker at that 12th pick.
You didn't think any big trades were like in conversation, maybe?
Yeah, I don't think they. Maybe. I mean, no, I don't think so. I think the whole draft was good. They got a couple of running backs. So late in the rounds. So I think they like Alan said, man, they really addressed their holes in their offensive line, and whatever they did on the draft, on whatever unrestricted free agents, they picked them up on the defensive side.
Is there anybody that you would have rather had on the draft that the Cowboys kind of missed on? I mean, I'm sure that's a broad question, but is there anybody that you guys really wanted for the Cowboys to pick. I'll start off
Shador,
with
maybe.
No, I don't know, Shador. I mean, everybody was speculating on it just because Dion, that's his pops and stuff like that. But I don't think so. I mean, I wouldn't. No, there was no need for him, man. There was no need for.
Had he fallen to like round 6, I would have been okay.
Oh shit! Okay,
I'm just saying.
Had he fallen to the last?
I mean, he was. He was
Maybe.
falling. He was falling pretty far.
If he would have been undrafted,
Yeah.
maybe we would have
Maybe,
fucking.
What round did
If
he
he
did they
paid
pick
us
him
to
up?
play, maybe.
What round did they pick him up?
We'll
Third round?
a fucking part-time position. Fucking.
Fifth
it was the
round.
5th round, right, Rios?
Yep.
They got him at
Fifth
5th round.
round.
Yeah.
I really wanted Omarby in Hampton.
They
I
traded
really
up.
wanted Omarby in Hampton from North
I don't know why
Carolina.
they traded up for him. Like, you could have waited. Like, I don't think anyone was lining up to draft the kid.
Dude, it's the
Yeah,
Browns.
I don't
We
think
have
so,
no
yeah.
idea what the
I don't
fuck they're
think so,
doing.
yeah.
So, and Alan, you said you were completely content. Like there was nobody that you would have rather had in a different,
I
in a
would have
different
loved.
round.
I would have loved to see Omarby in Hampton.
Okay. Why
'Cause
specifically?
I've seen what he could do. Don't get me wrong. I love Alfred. I love the Alfred Blue pick because as a Sooner fan, I've had to see this guy like 3 times already in my lifetime, and he's killed us every time. So I'm glad to see him wearing the star now. But I loved watching Hampton's tape. He just popped out at me like this is the kind of physical running back that I think Dallas needed. But if we get prime Javonte Williams, it'll be all worth it, though.
Okay, Robert.
Who's running back 1?
I think right now it's Williams.
Okay.
Yeah, from the one they picked up from the Broncos, right? Yeah.
Robert, is there anybody in your that you might have been tracking on the draft or might have been looking at in the draft that you wish the Cowboys would have gotten?
That wide receiver. What was that wide receiver for? That was predicted on one. I forgot his name.
Golden or
From
whatever.
Texas?
Like that.
Golden?
Matthew Golden?
Matthew Golden
Yeah.
or who?
I thought you guys were gonna pick him up.
just
To be honest,
because-
I'm surprised that he dropped as much as he did.
That's
Yeah.
why, because that was one of the needs that they needed in wide receiver. They needed somebody to get the coverage off of CD, right? And that's what I was thinking. Obviously, they went with the offensive line, but that's that was before they picked up George Pickens. Which I thought it was a real good addition right there. George Pickens, man, he's a good wide receiver. Everybody says he's a drama queen, but he's not. He doesn't have any issues off the field. Just in the field.
Yeah,
You
just
know,
fighting,
with-
Just on the field.
just penalties.
just fighting on the
right?
field.
No, but it's nothing like that though, man. But obviously he's a good wide receiver, so that was a good addition right there.
Yeah, Brandon posted on the comment section. Cowboys O-line could start looking scary if they also draft Caden Proctor next year.
Yeah,
Devin
we lost
Allen.
AP. Yeah, I figured he froze. I don't know if you guys noticed.
He'll be back. He'll know his way. So Rob,
We'll see over under George Pickens fights Dak Prescott after the third or fourth interception.
Mid-season, I don't know, man.
That would be funny. That would be
Depends,
funny
man.
to see.
Depends, but I don't know, man. I don't know how it was in Pittsburgh, man. I don't know, to tell you the truth. But I think
the quarterback situation in Pittsburgh wasn't
It didn't help.
great either. So
Yeah.
because it was Fields at first, right? It was
it was Fields, and then
then they
switched
it was
it up.
Russell, and then
It was Russell first, then Fields.
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
and they both
So
kind of had good games. Both kind of had bad games.
yeah.
Pickens got me a couple of my parlays to hit last year, so he wasn't doing terribly. He was holding it down, but I don't know. It's just one of those things, man, where maybe it was just a situation. Now going into a Dallas scheme, does the situation really get better?
Yeah, because he's not going to get the lion's share of targets like he did in Pittsburgh, and he was complaining about not getting the ball enough. Now you're going to be the number 2 behind CD because CD is clearly the better receiver than you are. Does he handle being the number 2 guy? Survey says no. I don't see it happening.
Alan, before you left, we were talking about the Pickens situation over there. What is your take on that?
First and foremost, never accept an invitation to take Nick Botkins' internet. Just saying. Second of all,
What? That should have been your first try. He's got that what is he at? No, he's in Missouri, but whatever, that Missouri style internet over there.
that dial-up.
Did you get a phone call to cut off the internet?
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I'm about to use the phone. I'm Nick Botkins, eh?
Gotta call my doctor. Botkins.
I'm using the phone.
Yeah, I feel like they needed to do something to address wide receiver 2. I was not 100% comfortable with what we had on the roster. So getting a guy like a George Pickens who can be that downfield threat, something that, well, Dallas really didn't have other than CeeDee Lamb. And you can allow CeeDee to kind of play his game similar to what Lamb was able to do at Oklahoma. You can now kind of unlock that CeeDee Lamb in Dallas with adding George Pickens, I feel.
Okay.
And do we think Dak is the guy to do it? Like he's just gonna come back and look fantastic, or how are you guys looking at going into the season? Because you're in a tough division now. You know, the Washington just got better. The Eagles just won it all. The Giants can be worse than last year.
I mean, they might.
I mean, there's already tape on Jaden. What is it, Jaden Daniels, Washington?
Yeah.
You know, let's see what he's going to do in his sophomore year, right? You know, because every brand new quarterback, man, you know, they're great. You know, well, you know, and he had a good year, man. He went to the division.
He had a great year.
I was going to say, on top of that, once upon a time, RG3 took the NFC East by storm for 1 year.
Yeah.
And then kind of fizzled out after
Everybody has tape on him, you know. The first year with Dak when he took over for Romo, when he got what they were 13-3, they went to the divisional. You know, because they didn't know what he was going to do. Is he going to be a mobile quarterback, pocket quarterback? You know, so you know it's going to be a tough division. I think the Giants are still in shambles. You know. But I know it's going to be, you know, either it's going to come down to the champions, man, the Eagles. You know, I know they lost a few of their defensive players, but I think it's going to be, you know, yeah. So
my leg neighbor's about to get fucking 2,000 yards, bro. With James Winston at the helm, bro, like he about to get fucking 100 yards a fucking game, bro. I'm telling you.
Malik Neighbors about to break the NFL record.
100 yards, 0 touchdowns.
Probably.
all of them are going to be. All of those are going to be intercepted.
You don't think Dart's going to throw any darts over there with the Giants?
I think Dart's going to end up playing only because he has to.
Yeah,
only because the Giants are going to fall apart. They're already talking that this Giants team may go 0-17. I don't think that they will.
I don't think so.
I don't think that they will.
I don't think so.
They'll win a couple games, but I do think you're going to see.
But it's a tough division. It's a tough division now. You got the Eagles, the Commanders, you know, Cowboys. So it's going to be a tough division, man. This is
probably the most wide open I've seen the NFC East ever.
So what I want you guys. Okay, so speaking of that, and I want to transition to this. You said this is the most open you've seen the NFC East. Where do you guys stack? I want you guys to give me your rankings of like who's going to be at the top, who's first, second, third, and fourth place in the NFC East. Who do you guys have? So I want to start off with you, Alan.
Well, Giants are last. I think that's the easiest one to figure out.
I think we're all going to be in agreement on that
one. I'm going to write this down just to make sure, and we're going to revisit
I think the Giants will be last.
Yeah, I mean,
I actually kind of agree that Washington might step back a little bit.
Okay.
They did lose a lot of key defensive players, too. If you look at it, they lost Jonathan Allen. They lost Dante Fowler. They lost a couple of linebackers as well.
And they're going to be playing a schedule.
They're playing a much tougher schedule than what we are, too. So I think they end up falling to third. I do think they'll have an outsider shot to be a wild card team, though, still. I think we'll finish second. And you got to beat Philly. You got to beat Philly. I know that they're on new coordinators yet again, but Jalen's proved time and time again that he, even with new coordinators, he could still get it done. So,
And they still got Saquon.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and honestly, I don't see Philly losing a single game in that division. It's hard. It's really hard to see anybody take a game. The way
you
they
say
play.
that, and then like
They
the crazy
might split
thing
the
is,
game,
like
man.
like
the
bar
crazy thing
injuries,
is,
right? Like as long as if everybody stays healthy, I can definitely see Philly
Like-
just running through the division.
Yeah.
like yeah, they can. Like they literally can go 6-0 in the division. It's easy for them to do that, but this division can be so chaotic that they could go 3-3 in this division too.
I think it's gonna be a battle for second place. I think
Well, I think what it
Washington
is-
is gonna.
Eagles and Cowboys. You know,
Yeah.
They show this graphic every year. Basically, there's no back-to-back winners in the NFC East. It's always a different team that
Yeah,
wins.
it's different.
always a different. Yeah, it's always
So-
a different one.
So recap, Alan. You said Giants at the bottom.
Giants, Washington, Dallas, Philly is my
Okay, Giants, Washington, Dallas, Philly. Final take.
Yep.
All right.
Sorry,
Robert,
Scott.
What about you, Robert? What do you think?
The same, you know. Well, the last two, right? Giants coming in last. I agree with the Washington Commanders taking a step back.
Really?
You know, there's a lot of games last season where they got lucky on some of those wins. You know, last second. You know,
Yeah.
overtime. You know, and now that everybody's seen how Jaden plays, man, they might change their coverage. You know, so I think they'll be third in division. Eagles second, Cowboys first. I mean, and I'm not just saying it just because, you know, the Cowboys and Eagles, man, they've always had a real competition. They've always split up their division games, you know, whether they won one, they lost the other ones. You know, record, Cowboys always own the Eagles, man, in the division, you know. So I still think the Cowboys, there's not going to be a repeat. What is it? Division champion this year again, you know.
Just give me a second, because I gotta Google. I'm gonna have to Google what the hell is in the water over there, man. Because what the fuck are you smoking, brother? What are you talking
Fair
about?
point. Prescott's 10-4 against Philly in his career. So most of our losses to Philly have been when he's gotten hurt. So
yeah, exactly, yeah. So
and that's the only reason I'm kind of
that's on the records, yeah.
I'm only that's the only reason I'm kind of skeptical about that placement is because we have a new head coach in Brian Schottenheimer. But supposedly the culture's been changed a little bit.
The coach has been changed. I think they've kept the same system, you know, because you know every time they change codes, the system changes. But I've heard, you know, they're keeping the same system, so you know Dak and the offensive, you know, team don't have to, you know, go into that another change. You know, and you know, Brian Schottenheimer has been there for like 3 years, 2023 or something, 2 years, 3 years, something like that, as an analyst and then, you know, assistant coach or whatever, you know. But from some of the people that said that they're going to keep the system the same, so it won't be that much of a change for the offensive line.
So our friend Brandon, I'm sorry, I was going to read Brandon's real quick. Brandon said Cowboys better try and get the second, not the first. Don't want the Packers going back to Jerry World in the wild card.
The Packers gonna be fun.
You know, the Packers. You know, Packers. I don't know. You know, I think they're still pissed off because they lost the tush push. You know, getting into all the league. You know.
Ouch.
I mean, they've had the Cowboys numbers for the last few years.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love. I mean,
so what do you think is the ceiling for this team, right? Like you guys are saying, like obviously the division is going to be somewhat competitive, right? What do you think the ceiling is for this Cowboys team?
Probably 11 wins. That's
Okay.
probably the ceiling for me. I think the schedule is kind of favorable a little bit. I know you've got Kansas City coming in on Thanksgiving, and you've got to deal with, you know, everybody in the division and what have you.
They got a stretch where they're facing the NFC North. You know, towards the end of their schedule, they got Minnesota going in, Lions.
It's a brutal stretch.
Yeah.
I'm
Towards
not
the end,
really
you
too
know,
scared of Minnesota, honestly.
Minnesota.
Hey, that's what I said last year.
Yeah,
That's
we all.
what I said
well,
last year,
Yeah,
bro.
I think
And
a
I
lot of
still
people
have
said that.
nightmares.
Although,
Yeah, 'cause they
although
got a new
we got to
quarterback.
see what JJ McCarthy is going to be.
Yeah,
first.
they don't have you
Yeah.
know, Sam Darnold anymore, but
We got to see what
But they got
if
those two
JJ
wide
plays well at the
receivers,
start
real
of the
good wide
season. I'll be
receivers
like,
out there.
okay,
We're in trouble.
yeah.
yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
you've got
The last stretch.
you've got the Chargers, who Dallas has owned since Herbert got there. You've got the Raiders, who are nothing. You got Seattle again, who's got Sam Darnold now and no offensive line. You got the division, of course, which you can beat the Giants twice and potentially split with the other two, depending on how those games go.
Yeah.
Washington goes.
It's a very winnable schedule. I know a lot of people are kind of frowning on it, but it's a very winnable schedule.
So let me
Even
ask.
with having Kansas City on.
Yeah, it's the
So-
beginning. You know, the OTAs are around the corner, man. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid again.
Pretty much.
Tail is old as
Yeah.
So just to recap on here, Alan. So you guys open up the schedule. I'm sorry, you guys open up against the Eagles September 4th.
Thursday night, the opening night. Yep.
Opening night, yeah. So
it's going to be belt ass.
so
At
do you,
at
is
Philadelphia.
that a beatdown?
Yeah.
No, I don't think they'll win that game. That's why
I think they'll make it competitive, but I think they'll lose that game.
So Brandon says that he has the Cowboys going in 8-2 by week 11, finishing 10-7.
I can see. I can definitely see 10
I
and
can see
7.
that.
Yeah, 'cause the NFC North is tough.
Yeah.
Mm.
So you got the Eagles, and then the week after that, on the 14th, you have the Giants. So literally two divisional rivals. And then you have the Bears, the Packers, and then the Jets.
Mm.
Ooh, it's a tough start to the season.
I could see a
It's a tough
3-2
start, yeah.
stretch out of that. I could see a
3-2?
3-2.
It's very doable. It's very doable.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then after the Jets, the Panthers. The
That'll be a sneakily tough game because
Yeah.
Bryce Young has gotten
The
better.
Panthers are getting better.
Do you think
Panthers
a
are
trap
getting
game? Would you guys consider that a trap game?
That I think that will be a trap game.
Sure, I would
Because
argue even the-
everybody's
added
going to
Rico
trap
Dowdle.
Carolina down.
I feel like even the
They've
Jets
added
game
Rico
would be a
Dowdle
bit of a
too,
trap
yeah.
game for you guys too.
That is true, yeah.
I feel like
Who do they have as a quarterback as the Jets?
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields.
Yeah, I feel
And
like
you have under the new direction of Aaron Glenn now, who is a defensive head coach.
Mm.
I think
Oh,
with them,
yeah.
well, they're going to focus on feeding Brees Hall a lot and
Yeah.
fresh off Fields. But he has
Yeah.
much better weapons with the Jets than he did, with Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I really like the fit, and with the Jets, you can almost guarantee that they're gonna implode at some point. But
Not to start the season, probably towards the end.
yeah,
There's
this
always
starts-
some terrible bad luck in the air.
something that fucking happens over there.
Yeah.
That team is cursed. They've been cursed since 1969. I don't know what they did to piss
Yeah, it's gonna be
Supposedly, Joe Namath sold his soul so they could win Super Bowl III.
Is that what that
Yeah.
was?
I mean, it would explain a lot.
But
I mean, it
I
explains
do
a
like
lot,
Justin
right?
Fields,
Because the
though.
Jets haven't been relevant since.
Yeah.
All right. So after the Panthers, you got the Commanders, the Broncos, Cardinals, Raiders, and Eagles again.
Is that Commanders game at home or away?
That Commanders game looks to be at home.
Okay.
That's the one we could probably win. We could probably beat them in Dallas.
So do you go 1-1 with them? Like you win at home and then you lose out on the road?
Unless we
I
walk
think they'll
into
still win
Washington,
on the road.
unless we walk into Washington and they start chanting "We want Dallas," then they're cooked.
Wouldn't know anything about that.
Every time we've had a game against Washington the last 3 years and they started chanting "We want Dallas," they either get blown out or they lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean
just
this time they're actually good though, so it's gonna be.
Yeah, they actually have a quarterback.
Oh no! See, they did that
No.
last year with Jaden, and we beat them in the first game. So
Yeah, they split up the division. Yeah, the games last year.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Fuck the Cowboys.
And that
I'm
was-
on
they
was
didn't
with,
do it week
Russ
17
Cooper.
though. They didn't do it week
That was with
17 and
Russ
they won.
Cooper, too.
this.
So after the Eagles game again on November 23rd, which will be at AT&T Stadium, then you got the Giants, And I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong part. Sorry about that. It went back to normal. Okay, so after the Eagles game, you have the Chiefs,
Yeah.
the Lions,
The
the
Chiefs,
Vikings, the
yeah.
Chargers, the Commanders again, and then finally end it with the
Wait.
Giants.
So you got Eagles, Chiefs, Lions,
Yeah.
Minnesota,
Minnesota,
and
Yeah.
then Washington.
Yes.
So brutal.
Oh
Like,
man.
Yeah.
if they don't take care of
But
business,
they're coming off a bye week. They're coming off a bye week. You know, I think it's a week 10 or
By
11.
this time in the
They have
season,
that bye
is
week.
that gonna get hurt? Is that gonna be hurt by this time of the season?
Yeah. You know,
yes,
there's a good chance you could steal a couple of those games. It depends
Mm-hmm.
on how good Minnesota is for starters. I mean,
Chargers.
anytime you play Philly and Dallas, it's always going to be tough.
Where's that Kansas City
Regardless.
game?
It's in Dallas.
It's in Dallas.
It's in Dallas. Yeah.
Thanksgiving. Man. Come on now.
That's-
The home, and the last time they played Kansas City, they held them to 16 points. So
Mhm.
Did they win?
No,
they
no.
lost.
No, the 16 points though, when they were scoring 30 plus back then.
But
Yeah.
now they'll-
That was
It's
the
crazy,
team.
it's
That was
crazy when that's the
Kansas
victory,
City.
right? That's the moral victory.
look, guys, it's Thanksgiving.
We didn't get blown out.
You guys don't stand a chance. It's going to be a massive.
It is a gauntlet for sure. I think they have a chance to maybe steal a couple games, but the one I'm leaning on the fence of where I think they can definitely win is Minnesota. That just depends on
Okay.
how good Minnesota is.
Mhm.
We said
That
that
late in the
last
season. That late in the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also you'll know by the time that game plays what Minnesota is, I think.
Hmm.
So
No, I think JJ McCarthy he's a really good game manager as a quarterback, and he has the weapons in place where he doesn't have to carry the load. Like you got
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson, second best receiver in the league.
He's coming off a shoulder injury, is he?
McCarthy or
Yeah, McCarthy.
Was it a shoulder or an elbow?
was it a shoulder or what? I can't remember. what
And
time it was.
rookie.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah.
I mean,
But the thing is, he doesn't have to do too much because those guys can get open on their own.
and
He's
the
just-
expectation isn't there. I don't think the expectation is there. For
him sitting
No.
on the sideline recovering last year was really good for him. Learning
It was a
from
torn
Primo.
meniscus, by the way. So it was a knee injury.
It was a knee injury.
Yeah, it was a knee injury.
It is tough. It is tough to come back from a knee injury, especially after the first year.
But
Yeah,
with
it
him,
was on the preseason.
have TJ Hawkinson for
It
the
was
whole
crazy.
season. Hawkinson missed a
Yeah.
good chunk of the year.
He's got a good wide receivers. You know,
Mhm.
Just a good security.
He's
like,
got
got
a
a
he's
weapon.
got a really good receiving core there. for him.
Madison,
and their
Right.
defense has always been good.
Yeah, the defense
Yeah.
is very solid. That's what's
Yeah.
scary about him.
defense.
So I don't
ain't no-
know. I think
Like
Minnesota
the home games with Philly and Washington, I think we could win, but on the
Yeah.
road, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, on the road. Yeah, that late in the season too.
Mhm.
You know, but
And then, of course,
but
you're
I
going to
think-
beat the Giants at the end of the year because that's a meaningless game.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's the game where fucking Dart just smokes you guys for no reason.
That's gonna be his breakout game.
I mean, if it's not worth it, if they win
Yeah.
the division, there's no reason for it. But you know what? With seasons like that, it's always been, it's always by the end of the game, and it's like a must win. With the Cowboys, it's always been it's the division. They're fighting for it. It's a tough division now. I haven't looked at the other
competitive.
opponent's schedule and stuff. Yeah, it's very competitive.
It
has
is
to,
reminiscent of what the division was. It is reminiscent of what the division was in the 90s. To an
Well,
extent.
and obviously,
Right.
if it's in the indication that every year there hasn't been a repeat division champion, that even though some of these records they don't indicate that,
Yeah.
so it's
'Cause-
always been very competitive.
The thing is, for me, Washington, I think, is under the most pressure out of anybody in the division this year because, like we've talked about all the show. Philly's got 2 new coordinators and lost some defensive players. Dallas has a whole new coaching staff coming in. Giants are the Giants; you could throw them out. So, Washington, realistically, on paper, should win the NFC East.
Mhm.
So what gives you you mentioned new coaching staff. What makes you optimistic about this coaching staff as opposed to what was happening last season?
The
Alan,
last one sucked.
so-
They
I
were
mean,
competitive.
I just want to hear from
Even
Cowboy.
with Cooper Rush.
Like, what makes you optimistic about this one as opposed to the last one? Like, what are some changes? How about this? What are some changes you guys are hoping to see that you didn't see on the previous one?
It seems like Shotty's already won over in a good chunk of the locker room, if not the entire locker room already, which is something that Mike really didn't do the first couple years he was in Dallas. He didn't really have the entire locker room connected until maybe that middle end of that second year when they were making that in the middle of those 12-5 seasons. And then he kind of lost it there at the end. But I think this is the first time in a while that a coach has come into the Dallas and has gotten the entire locker room fired up and ready to go.
Robert,
what about the fan base in general, though? How do they feel over there?
The same, man. You know, the culture change. You know, every time you have a new boss, a new coach that changed the system. You know, I think they play a little bit, you know, better. Some of those changes they've done on the, you know, picking up George Pickens on the guard, you know, offensive line, the pickups on the defensive side of the ball. So yeah, I think that the culture change on it, man. New head coach, you know, new players, new leaders. You know, you'll get new leaders. You know, so that's what I'm thinking.
Okay. All right.
And here
Sam is blowing up my phone right now. He's that.
Aren't they doing a show right now? Aren't they supposed to be doing a show? Or are they taking a break off today?
I don't know when they're doing that show.
So apparently wearing a backwards hat makes me a gang member. Thank you, Sam.
Oh.
Sam would say
wow,
that.
Sam. Really, really nice
Sam
of you to
would
just
say
say it.
that.
Good job, Sam. You ruined this.
Senor first down.
Senor first down.
Senor turnover on downs, piece of shit.
You're right there. You're right there, Robert.
Oh, we lost
Yeah,
him.
I'm good.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
No, I'm
Dallas
good.
internet, man. Yeah,
No,
man.
I'm good.
All right, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so y'all. So Robert, just to recap it, you're stacking Cowboys right at the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. New head coach, man. New
So you're
players, new
optimistic.
leadership
You're
within
feeling
that.
pretty
Yeah.
good about it.
Yeah.
What
I
is
told
the
you I'm
future?
drinking the Kool-Aid now, man.
Okay, so what is so with injuries, with all of Dak, is this finally Dak's year, or is it building up for the next couple of years? What do you think? Is Dak your future quarterback?
They can't rebuild, man. They can't. So yeah.
Okay.
They can't rebuild, man. And that's why Jerry didn't. You know, that's why they gave him the extension. You know, it's a win now, man. You know, it's a win
Okay.
now.
You
They
feel
can't
like you're on win now.
they can't take a step backwards with the new quarterback and new you know, leader in there. You know.
All right,
Yeah.
AP.
Yeah, because to piggyback off of that, we've seen what this team looks like without Dak at times. I know the people drank the Cooper Rush Kool-Aid early on when he first came in and back, and he did a good job. But Dak just adds that extra element that Cooper didn't really have. And now you don't even have Cooper Rush anymore, so you kind of have to go with what you have right now in Dak Prescott.
Thank you, Family First Sports. I appreciate you subscribe. Don't forget, like it says at the bottom, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at JustFans22. Also follow us up on our IG account at JustFansPod, which I'm sure we'll have a few clips from this show because it's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah,
All I'm gonna say,
I think Dak.
It's gonna happen.
No, he's going to New Orleans. I think he's going to New Orleans.
What was that, Rios?
I said, there's no way Jerry's going to pass on Arch Manning. He will do whatever it takes to get that kid. Because
You think so?
yeah, absolutely.
He looks like that.
Not if the Saints.
That's the
Not
type
if the
of guy
Saints,
he
man.
wants.
Not if the Saints.
I don't think
you know.
New Orleans doesn't have the
Listen to me.
capital to
Listen
trade
to me.
out of
Listen
that
to me.
pick.
Fuck the Saints.
I knew that was coming.
If there was ever a shirt for you,
Yeah,
that would be it.
it would be.
Listen, man. Somebody like, Baby Manning, I would hate to see him in a Cowboys jersey, but I think I might hate him more if he went to New Orleans, bro.
You and your personal vendetta against New Orleans.
That's where it's
Well, I
shaping
mean,
up
It's
to,
also a
man.
really
That's where it's
shitty
shaping
team in a
to.
really shitty situation, a really
Yeah.
shitty city, and a really shitty state.
Exactly.
Like, here's the thing, though: the
At
Cowboys
least
can
Dallas
at least
is in a
win
cool
some-
state.
At least Dallas can win a few games with the
Yeah.
quarterback that they have. Look at what
Yeah.
the quarterback room New Orleans has. They have nobody.
Yeah.
Well,
They
Derek
don't
Carr
even
just
have a
retired.
room. That stadium's falling apart.
Have you been to it?
It's been falling apart.
I've seen it from the
And this-
outside, and I don't think it was safe
Oh.
for me to even do that. Felt like it was going to collapse any second.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's looking that way that the Saints are either going to tank or they're not going to have anything for the season, and they're going to go for
What's
you know,
the kid
the
that
prodigal
they
son.
picked up?
Tyler Shutt, the
Yeah, I
Louisville kid, Tyler Shutt.
Yeah, from
Yeah, I feel like they still have a few pieces in that team. They might make a few trades at the deadline. Maybe
This I see happening. The Colts absolutely tanking.
Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that? Be
They
something?
would.
another
Yeah.
Manning to the Colts.
They would
Yeah.
sell their firstborn child to get Arch Manning on the Colts.
I believe it.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I
All right,
would hate
Papi,
that.
who would you hate Arch Manning going to more, the Saints or the Colts?
I was just about. Fuck me.
Ooh.
The Colts.
You know what?
The
I would.
Colts,
I
man.
would hate to see him more in the Saints because fuck him. Like I feel like if he went to the Colts, the way the Colts have been for the last decade or so, I feel like he won't even make it past his rookie contract. So, so I don't think I would be that scared.
That would be an interesting matchup, though, wouldn't it? Arch Manning against CJ Stroud every 2 years.
I don't want
twice
something
every year.
interesting.
Yeah, twice a year.
I don't want interesting. I want blowouts. I want the
Papi
Texans to dominate and
Papi
beat
demands
everybody.
dominance.
Yeah.
That's a tough division now, man. It's a tough, that division's getting tougher now.
It's not so much that it's tough. It's just like we all kind of have issues.
Yeah, that's
true.
true.
That's
But see,
true.
Jacksonville just got an added weapon. They just
But
got an
that's-
added weapon for Lawrence.
I don't
The
believe.
thing is,
I don't know. I just.
I don't think that with Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville needs a lot more things than just Travis.
I was
Hunter
telling
on
the guys off air, like Jacksonville is one of those teams where like they might just fucking not even figure it out, but just get lucky this year and actually like make it competitive in the division. Maybe not because they're good, but maybe because they're just getting past people.
Let's be honest. Travis Hunter, he's not going to play wide receiver and corner in the NFL. It's just
He's
not.
not. He's not.
Yeah.
They
No.
will do it, and I
They
think
can
that they're
risk
gonna
it. They
do
can
it.
risk it.
They're gonna do it week one. I think they have to.
They're going to try. They can do packages maybe with him a receiver, but he was a better.
Probably Hail Mary packages, man.
Or like
They'll
a-
probably have
Yeah,
him-
Hail Mary, or
they'll
like
probably have him
if
in the-
how do you call it? If you're like completely blowing out another team or whatever, or completely tanking.
Yeah,
That's a way that you
But
can
I
kind
don't
of
see
put him
them
in. Just,
risking it that much,
for
man.
show.
For him getting hurt. Yeah,
Especially since you traded up to get
can you
him,
imagine?
too.
yeah.
Can you imagine if like he had to like switch jerseys whenever he went on offense or defense, and then like 12 gets he's 12 right on the is that what it is 12?
Yeah.
What if like 12 gets ejected at corner, but then wide receiver 21, whatever stuff like that. See, it could work.
Maybe,
That was terrible.
maybe. Who's the other enemy in the division? You got the Colts.
Well, you got the Titans too.
Jacksonville.
Titans with
I got the
Cam
Titans.
Ward.
the
Oh,
Titans
with the-
ain't
with
doing
the new
jack
quarterback.
shit this year.
No.
I mean, they did surround Cam
What's the
Ward
new
with
quarterback, man? It's a
yeah,
new quarterback.
they surrounded Cam Ward with weapons, and I think that makes them more competitive than they were a year ago. Now, that's not much to say because of what their record was, but it makes them, to me, it makes them more competitive. The Colts, I still don't. I know they added a few weapons for Anthony Richardson, but based off of last season when he just kind of tapped out, I don't take Anthony Richardson seriously right now until maybe maybe it's a redemption year for just kind of tapping out against the Texans that game.
Take this into account. That's why they brought in Daniel Jones. They're trying to tank
Yeah,
because
So-
Daniel Jones he plays the quarterback position better than
mm-hmm.
Anthony Richardson.
Better
He's
than me,
mobile.
yeah.
He's a mobile
Hey.
quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see winning
He's a mobile quarterback. He just can't run long
And,
distance.
we've seen it. We've seen it time and time again with guys that have gone through the New York teams. Anytime they go somewhere else, it's always a better situation for them.
Yeah,
Rios.
I mean, but is the Colts really the
Rios.
situation where you want to be at?
Rios, the comment.
They didn't sign the prenup. They didn't sign the
No,
prenup.
Man,
back in 2006.
people still believe in true love, man.
Oh, that girl.
True love and money, man. True love and money.
All right,
She
this is
just
a question for the Cowboys. Do you guys think Clayton Adams can give us a top 5 rushing offense?
Top 5?
Top 5. Ooh,
Maybe not top 5.
Like
I think potentially top 15, depending on who ends up being.
that seems fair.
I'm thinking like top half.
If Javonte's back into his full strength, I think they could be top 15 easily. Because, like I said, I do like the Alfred Blue pickup. I think he'll be RB2 behind Williams.
For Blue, isn't it that?
No,
The Texas kid, the Texas guy.
the
I know.
J-team.
And here's the thing, Carlos. Anytime I've said his name tonight, I've gagged a little bit because of him being from Texas. So,
Well, no,
No.
we had a running back named Alfred Blue.
No, I think. Are you sure it's
It's
Alfred Blue?
Jaden. No, it's Jaden Blue.
Jaden
Yeah,
Blue.
Jaden
Blue,
Blue. I was
Jaden
gonna
Blue,
say
whatever.
Alfred Blue. The Texans
Yeah,
had an
the
Alfred
Texans.
Blue. I was like,
Yeah.
you went back to
Jaden
college
Blue.
and
Yeah.
He did. Did you not see?
Okay, let me go back to college. You get drafted.
yeah, I was gonna say
Jaden Blue, I like.
I-
Jaden Blue, I
Yeah.
like.
Jaden Blue.
But
Yeah, that
even
was
though
a good
it
pickup.
kills me with every fiber of my being to say that I like that pick, but
Oh, because you're a Sooner fan.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And he killed us like 3 times. So
Yeah, I thought that was a great pickup in the draft. You know,
I think
picking
Blue's
running
going
backs
to
maybe
end up being
around.
RB2
Yeah,
because I don't know what we're going to get from what we're going to get from Miles
Yeah.
Sanders, honestly.
yeah.
This coming by Brandon. A guy named Jaden shocked the Texans didn't get him. Did y'all see that the Texans got like a bunch of Jadens and Jalen's?
Yeah,
Basically all the Jalen's.
Their first
All the
Same
J's.
thing with the Cowboys. Cowboys got a bunch
We got all
of
the Tylers. We got all the Tylers.
I got Tyler.
Yeah, we
Tyler
got like
Guyton,
3 or
Tyler-
4 Tylers.
Tyler
yeah.
Guyton, Tyler Smith,
Tyler
and
Booker.
Tyler Booker, all on the offensive line.
Jalen, Jaden,
And
and
they
Tyler.
used, then they had Tyler Smith before that and stuff. So Tyron
funny.
Smith. I'm sorry, Tyron Smith.
Tyler.
Tyron Smith.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
man.
So that's
Oh,
why it's
yeah.
going to be a good offensive line, man. Bunch of Tylers. You know?
Okay,
They
so
don't know
all-
who's getting yelled at.
Yeah. So all in all, I'm pretty sure y'all said, but I missed it. So final prediction for the Cowboys. How do you finish your season? What record do you get? What record do the Cowboys finish their season? Alan,
10-7 wild card.
you said 10-7 wild card. That's where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Robert, what do you think?
I still think the same, man. Around there, 10, 11. Even with the division win, man, because it's a tough division, you know. So yeah, wild card, man.
So do you-
NFC is stacked. Every division, you know. Well, shit, maybe the NFC West, not, you know. Yeah, maybe not that division.
I'll go 8-9. That's being generous.
Yeah, I mean they've improved in some areas, but it's just I don't trust Dak Prescott, and I think they're really, especially if like they are kind of teetering, you know, they're like, you know, at 500, they have a chance to secure the number 1 pick. They're going to tank to get Arch Manning. It's just, let's be real, like
Not with that extension, man. Come on.
So Rios, you really think they're going to tank it this season to get Arch Manning?
I mean,
I'm just asking.
it's Jerry Jones.
Okay.
You can't rule out anything.
Okay.
Be careful.
Papi, get the final word. You heard our perspectives. You heard them. What do you think?
If Dak can stay healthy,
Okay.
I think the ceiling is going to be 11 wins. But I'm predicting, you know, because the guys were talking about the division being competitive. Honestly, I'm not buying into it as much as they are. I'm really backing Washington here. I'm really backing Philly as well.
Okay.
And I think the Giants might surprise some people, you know. So I'm gonna give them the 10 wins. I think they end up 10 wins and they go to the wild card. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, Walker's probably the furthest to go just because the NFC North is so stacked. There's going to be at least 2 or maybe 3 teams from the NFC North that make the playoffs.
There might be 2 from the South this year, to be honest, because you still got Baker in Tampa. Bryce Young's getting better.
Yeah,
I don't think the Panthers.
I really think Atlanta can be kind of competitive depending on what happens with Penix. NFC is slowly getting better.
Yeah.
They are.
Slowly getting better all around.
Yeah.
For years, it was the AFC. They were just. I mean, it's still stacked. You think about it, the AFC
it
North.
still is. It still
3
is.
potential playoff teams in the AFC North. 1, maybe 2 in the AFC South. AFC West, you got the Chiefs still. Chargers.
Denver's good. I think they could be
Denver,
good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I believe in Bo
Denver.
Nix. I think he's the real deal. I think he's a good, good quarterback for them.
Baltimore and Buffalo.
Yeah, the AFC East. You still got the MVP and Josh Allen and
maybe Cincinnati. Maybe Cincinnati comes back this year.
Cincinnati needs to stay healthy, man. They really need to figure it out.
Yeah.
Other than Buffalo, I don't see anybody out of the AFC East. I don't think New England's ready just yet. I think Miami's going to fall
God's
apart.
going to hear you there, Alan.
Oh, he knows. He knows they're not ready yet.
He's gonna wheel out of his retirement home. Damn you, Perales.
That's okay. I'll just steal his Jello.
Okay.
Not if Rios gets to it first.
I mean, I love Jello.
Yeah. All right, guys. I want to thank you guys for joining us this evening. I appreciate your time. AP, Alan, tell them what you got going on, what shows you got going on the Let's Talk Sports Network, and where to follow you.
So we got 2 specifically on the mat, which is Tuesday and Saturday. It's me and the friend of the program, Mr. First Down, every Tuesday night and every Saturday night talking wrestling. So we'll be doing that tomorrow night, talking about tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. Wednesday is our baseball show with myself, aforementioned Scott Cope and Jonathan Chrisman, former minor league baseball player. So we do that every Wednesday night. And then on the Rec Room show, we do Lock It In with myself, Tanner, and Scott, where it's a betting show basically. So, but I will say this is kind of an announcement, and I'll be saying this on my other shows. Next week, I will be taking a break because I am getting a steroid injection in my back. So I'm gonna have to take a break to recover from that.
You're gonna take what in the back?
You getting what in the back?
Steroid injection.
Oh, okay.
A big ass needle. A big ass needle.
So predictable, man. So predictable.
I think you're gonna come back to like a Prime Batista.
It's going to be all jacked up. This is the Alan Swole show now. Yeah.
What the fuck was that noise?
I have no idea.
Is that my sister?
No, it's not. She's out. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway.
All right, guys. Fuck the Cowboys. I just wanted to say that one last time.
That's going to be it for our show.
Best team in Texas.
That's going to be it for our show. I'm trying to end
it's
it.
the sewer water you guys are drinking over there.
Yeah, we're drinking sewer. You're drinking Chernobyl water.
Yeah. Fucker.
I'm just here to listen. But
Okay.
keep going. I like it.
We got spring water up here if you want some.
You're in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Exactly.
First of all, you're in Oklahoma, sir.
It's less diluted.
You're not
man.
even in Texas.
You
That's
know?
the thing.
All the shit rolled to Houston. Into the Gulf of
Did you
Mexico.
just change
I'm
the
sorry,
background?
Gulf of
Gulf of
America.
America. Get it right.
Go for Oh, Jesus.
All right.
Yeah,
Take care.
yeah, but it was it's fun. It's fun, guys. Appreciate the invite.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
me and my forehead. Me and my forehead.
Yeah. All right. So that's gonna be it.
Back in the day, I used to squat like almost 500. So
Nobody asked.
that was
All right, guys.
that was back in the day, though.
See you guys
All right.
next week.
Yeah, guys. We'll see y'all next week. Check us out. Again, subscribe to our YouTube channel at JustFans22. And of course, follow us up on our Instagram account at JustFansPod. That's going to be it. See y'all next week. Peace.
Go Rangers.
Southwest A-League, Texas, throw down here and it's so infectious. We ride for the Houston Astros, Rockets, Dynamo, and them Texans. If you ain't never been down here, well, rule number one, you gon' respect us. Just fans in my speakers, new one drop, they bout to bless us. I might right through the SWAT, playing just fans right through your spot. Look.